Hello everyone and welcome back to the final episode of this season for the Alfa Romeo F1 team. And before we get into the next race, or the final race, Levi Cochran here says that he doesn't want to be part of the team anymore. You know, he wants us to renew that contract, so we're going to click renew and go even more into the hole. Hopefully he wanted to stay on the team, seeing how he did make an input, as well as very annoying Chief. She made an input on the drivers that they were looking at, and we came up with kind of Mick Schumacher and Robert Schwartzman. Before we get into the race, look over there on the right hand. You can see that we are 7th in points, and we have potential to not really move up, but to stay at 7th in points and get some extra money. As for our drivers, Kimi Räikkönen has a chance to jump Daniel Ricciardo or Esteban Ocon. That's really about our range. I don't think we can beat Lando or Mick, but that's kind of our range for Kimi. And as for Gio, I think he's kind of stuck there at 15th. It's sad to see him go from the team, but this will most likely be his final race with the team, as statistics-wise, Kimi Räikkönen is superior in every category. Big money riding on Quali today, with Mercedes and Red Bull all still fighting out for the team's championship. Max Verstappen has already been crowned the Drivers' Champion, so this Quali session is about the teams. And that's very true, so let's see how our team does in the best qualifying run. We got 8th place and 14th place. There's no way they can get around this track in time. Nope. I'm proud of the 8th place from Gio, 14th from 15th from Räikkönen. Kind of stings, but it is what it is, as Bottas does take pole. Alfa Romeo team principal Leica Bosk must be delighted by those qualifying results. It's okay, it's not the best. The 8th place is good. 14th. Even though Max Verstappen has been crowned champion, the team's champion is still up for grabs. Time for the grand finale. The Drivers' Champions is over, but there's still a lot to race for. Starting off the grid, we have Valtteri Bottas, then Charles Leclerc. Right behind him is Sergio Perez and his teammate, the world champion, Max Verstappen. In 5th place, we have Daniel Ricciardo, and in 6th, Carlos Sainz. In 7th, we have Lewis Hamilton, runner-up in this championship, and Antonio Giovinazzi, who's been told he won't have a ride for next year. In 9th, we have Fernando Alonso, and in 10th, Lance Stroll. Coming in 11th place, we have the Haas of Mick Schumacher, and the Alpine of Esteban Ocon. In 13th, we have Lando Norris, and in 14th, Nikita Mazepin. In 15th, we have Kimi Räikkönen, who has claimed he will not retire, and Sebastian Vettel in 16th. P17 and P18 is Pierre Gasly and George Russell, respectively. And P19 is Yuki Tsunoda, as P20 is Nicholas Latifi. It's a pretty simple, cut and dry, medium onto medium race here. That's at least what it looks like to me, because it's 15 laps. 8 plus 8 is 16, so we're covered by that, so it's really going to be who's fastest. Let's get into it, down to the 5 red lights. Oh, there's a skyscraper there, in case you didn't know. Starting off this race, looks like Gio's maintaining position. They're kind of all jockeying there for position, in fact. Kimi does make up a few spots already. He is a first lap hero here. Everywhere, really. Somebody spun. Looks like that was Leclerc. Well, he was up there next to pole. He wasn't pole, but he was up there. That's kind of bad for him. The only spot that I worry about our car at this track is the long straightaway on the front. So we're going to have to use all of our engine power there. So far, a solid first lap. Capitalizing off other people's mistakes. It's the best thing that we do. They're all using their power here, but I'm going to save it for the front. Maybe that was a mistake. Oh well, it's all about management in the end. And right now, both of my drivers have about the same tire wear. Gio is working around the inside, and so is Kimi. They're kind of linked at the hip, it seems, right now. Despite Gio knowing this is his last race with the team, he is not going to go out without a fight. So we're going to let him bring that fight to other drivers here. And notice how that extra engine power helped him boost past somebody there. Probably should turn it off for both of them. As he gets by another one, so saving up that engine power really helps out. And if you notice, our tire wear is not near as good as the people in the points right now. We do have to worry about Schumacher, who's currently getting points, because Gio has to finish above him, or Raikkonen has to finish above him, for us to get that extra 600,000, or almost half a mil, or over half a million in the final point standings. So there is a lot on the line here, and we can even see that when I go like this. This is Drivers' Championship. We won't get anything different here. And this is the Teams Championship. And for whatever reason, it changed the name back to their old names, despite me changing their names anyways. Oh well. That's why we don't do that way very much, do we? That's the screen we like here. As we can tell, Gio is doing a solid job here. He hasn't worked his way far enough away from Kimi for me to warrant him doing anything different. But he does have slightly better performance. Maybe we should have gone with the tire wear, but it is his last race, and I think that he really wants to get a solid performance outside of kind of eking out those top 10 finishes. I think he wants to be in the top half of the top 10. I mean, Kimi Raikkonen did get our best finish ever, 5th place, just a little bit ago. So we'll see if Gio can do that now. His kind of his last thing with his swan song of the team. He will find himself in Formula 1 again this year, I can just assure you that, because as I was looking at things, it looks like a lot of drivers over the age of 36 want to retire from all the things. So that's how it's coded into the games, that everyone over 36 retires. Not the best thing in the world, but it is what is going to happen. So we'll just have to live with that. It will break the realism, but I guess it's already broken the realism that a YouTuber is making a series about it. As you can tell, this track doesn't really allow us to save much on gas because of the long straightaways, but the tires, we can kind of manage them to the best of our abilities. We are definitely not the best at managing tires, but we do have the same tire wear as the leader, who's only 12 seconds ahead of us. Only 12. I'm actually going to let Gio push this lap, because it is the halfway point. So we're going to pit Gio one lap sooner. Then we're going to pit Raikkonen. This should allow for an undercut strategy for Gio, while Raikkonen goes for the, not the overcut, but it is the overcut in all traditional sense. So we're going to pit in this lap onto another set of medium tires. Car capabilities are fine. You will need new tires soon, Kimi, but I think you got one more lap in you. Yeah, you got one more lap in you. You'll be fine, buddy. As Gio's just trying to close down the gap best he can. We're going to let him speed on into pit lane. Put back his tire wear down. Kimi Raikkonen's going to speed past his teammate here. And let's see the pit stop. Ooh, 4.9, not great. We're going to come out around P12. So we're just 2 points away, or 2 spots away from points. That's not bad at all. Kimi Raikkonen will be coming into pits this lap. And judging from how close Gio is to him, Gio should get back around out in front. But it would be great to continue our streak of double points finishes. This track is not suited to us because of the long straightaways. But anything's possible because it is a video game. As Kimi is eking out the last bits of his tire, and Gio's going to get past a few people here. Maybe he'll undercut. Kimi Raikkonen with a 6.9. Goodness gracious me. Ugh, that's just atrocious for him. That puts him all the way back in last place. While he is going to be able to get past these Williams pretty quickly, that does not help our strategy at all, while Giovinazzi is forced to fight with Norris working on the hard tires. In fact, Schumacher's on the hard tires too, and I don't think that's the right strategy here, because clearly they're going to lose too much time just purely from speed's sake. We are going to let them burn some fuel here too, just because it helps them both out. The lighter fuel is, or the less fuel they have on, the faster they can go. As Giovinazzi is working his way, he just can't get past Norris. I am starting to wonder if they're doing a one-stop strategy, and if that is the case, don't like it. Probably because I can't do it, but I don't think it's the best strategy. But clearly I might be wrong, as Kimi does get past a double overtake, it looks like. 2 people in front of Gio should come into pit at some point, so we'll see if that's actually the case or not. There's one. Looks like Stroll is going really slow and holding us up, as Raikkonen is able to get back into 14th. I mean, it's not great, but we're getting there. There's still 4 laps left. Kimi is stuck behind Ocon and Alonso of the Alpine team, so the two French manufacturers kind of holding us down. As Gio's coming down this long straightaway, let's see if he can get anything done, and Kimi's going to boost ahead too. Gio's looking for a move inside but can't get anything done, while Raikkonen does get something done on the long straightaway. And then gets it right back. Gio has worked his way up into 8th. Why even talk, right? Looks like Charles Leclerc, 2nd place on pole, is able to work his way back up to 8th after a first lap spin. And Kimi Raikkonen is just... I think he's just too far out. There's only 3 laps remaining. That's 3 laps, so what's that? 15 plus 15 is 30. So it's not quite enough to make it with me feeling confident in both the car at 37% and the tire. Nothing would suck more than having to pit on the very last lap of the last race of the season. That's just not how you want to end out the season. You want to end it out with getting a little bit of confidence in the season, especially since we know that Kimi's going to be back next season. He is getting a little bit older, but he really wants to take on that role of mentorship, and he has mentored Giovinazzi for the last couple years on the Alfa Romeo team. It hasn't worked as well as people have anticipated it, or have wanted it to. We are getting to the wire here, and Gio might be on the wire with his tires too, as Kimi is starting to come in. Brakes seem quite spongy, more than normal. Could be a problem. I'm really glad we didn't do that 100% performance boost on everything, because our car would have been dead. Especially Kimi's, and Gio's would have been pretty darn close. Looks like Stroll made a mistake and Gio was able to get past him. It is the last lap of the Grand Prix. We are going to let Kimi push. I know, it's the last lap. His car looks tough, or his car looks beaten up. But with 17%, I feel both confident in the driver and the vehicle that Levi and the boys produced back at home. Levi, Jerry, Judy, all of them. Yeah, Gio's just gonna hold station here. He can't really push more than that. Raikkonen's trying his best to catch up to Alonso in front, but Schumacher is going to get points for Haas. As long as Gio stays in front of him, we should be fine. I'm really worried about Stroll catching up and holding us back. Hamilton gets the fastest lap, Bottas wins, but Verstappen's already got the championship. It doesn't matter. This is only for championship points for teams, just to see if we can get anything left out of this team. Giovinazzi with an 8th place finish, and Kimi Raikkonen moves up 2 spots to get 12th. While I would have loved points, this is probably the second best thing we could get, especially at a circuit that's not designed for us. And here we are. We succeeded in the race. So a lot of people went 8-7, one went 9-6, 8-7, 9-6. We split it 7-8 and then 8-7 to cover both strategies. I think the undercut was great, so I would suggest undercuts more often than not. 4 people went for, 5 people went for not stopping at all. And as you can see, the no stopper did not put you in any points. Closest was Schumacher, and he even went off the no-stop strategy. Barely got him any points at all. So, as for the championship, we got 7th place as a team, which is better than I expected in all honesty. Max Verstappen wins it all, as we come in 14th and 15th respectively, with Kimi Räikkönen scoring 25 while Gio only scored 14. So Gio will be off the team, but he will be remembered. As for F2, Yuri Vips wins it all, and Robert Schwartzman comes in 2nd despite never winning, just being that consistent. In F3, Jack Doohan and Dennis Hauger split wins, but Jack came with the championship in the end. As for IndyCar, Scott Dixon, 5 wins, a clinic down there, will win it all. Kyle Busch wins the NASCAR Cup Series with Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, and Chase Elliott close behind. Gotta mention Joey Logano there, doing his best. AJ Allmendinger will win the Xfinity Series, according to this. And Matt Crafton will win the Trucks with Brett Moffitt close behind, and Carl Edwards returning because he can. As for the Endurance Series, Audi Racing won it all, and One Up Racing won it all. Alright, let's sign some drivers. That's what I'm talking about. Let's sign some stinking drivers. Alright, so driver of the season was Sebastian Vettel. Originally, it was told that he would only get 15th. He got 7th. While Red Bull Racing was expected to finish 3rd, and they finished 2nd in the championship, but with a championship driver. Personally, I feel like we should have been in the discussion, but it is what it is. F2 driver of the season was Robert Schwartzman, so we might, I really wanted to sign him, but we'll see if we can. F3, Frederick Vesti won it, with Trident F3 as well. Driver of the season in IndyCar was Takamo Sato, so good for him, and Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing. Denny Hamlin was the driver of the season in NASCAR, and so was his team. Michael McDowell was the driver of the season in Xfinity, and Richard Petty Motorsports was the team of the season. Ryan Vickers returning to NASCAR, he did great, and Team Pastrana with Travis Pastrana and Carl Edwards working together got 2nd. Don't know who that is because I didn't make him, and then Acura Racing. Don't know who that is because I didn't make them, but One Up Racing. That's right, you are a legend, Sebastian Vettel. 4-time champion, hanging up his cleats, putting down the steering wheel and the helmet one last time. He's done, but it was great to have him on this season. Crazy to think that a 36-year-old would retire before my 41-year-old Kimi Räikkönen, but it is what it is. Alright, here we are. Lewis Hamilton straight up retiring from motorsports. After getting beat for his very first time in his career from a Mercedes seat, besides Nico Rosberg, Lewis Hamilton hangs it up. Will he do the same in real life? I doubt it. So is Sebastian Vettel, the 4-time champion. Respect to him. He's done great, and he's hanging up at a good point in his career. So now we are going to try to get different drivers to join our team. Oh, well, first off, looks like Callum Ilott took a retired spot and went to IndyCar. So that is good for him. First off, we're going to try with Robert Schwartzman. We're going to tell him that he's going to be equal status with Kimi Räikkönen, but not quite as much as him. We're going to give him a wage of $720 if we can. We're going to keep it at 1 season. And he really likes the boost, so we're going to try to give him something like this. I hope it works. Whew. Well, we did it. We signed Robert Schwartzman first. I will let you know that I did try to sign all of these guys 3 times before this, and all of them said no. So I'm glad that this has save states. So he will be switching out with Antonio Giovinazzi. I know it's tough for some of us to say goodbye to Gio, but I mean, Kimi Räikkönen's a world champion, and he's still performing better than Gio did, despite Gio having a better car. So Robert Schwartzman, you are now replacing Antonio Giovinazzi. Gio, thank you for all you've done for the team, but time to give us a Russian. He's heard a lot of good things about us. So now we have a Russian and Kimi. Well, let's see, we already got some points available. First off, if you're going to be on this team, you got to be able to start the race. As for Kimi, let's re-sign him really quickly. What? Is he retiring now? No? Okay, so why wouldn't he want to... Yeah, let's... Kimi, you're gonna stay on the team. What's the big deal, buddy? So we're gonna try to renew the contract with Kimi. Don't know why the 41-year-old would not want to be on a team that wants him unless he thinks he can get a better option. Make sure that he knows that he's number 1 overall. Give him the same contract, or close to the same price he was there last season. A 1-year deal again, and a renewal fee of that. We do have 4 patient points with him, so... Okay, we probably could have given him less for a bonus, but Kimi Räikkönen's just happy to be here. And we are actually going to save money on Kimi Räikkönen's contract. Feels great to renew my contract with Alfa Romeo. I'm really happy here. Blessed.